Hey, everybody. I'm going to talk today about your header on your WordPress site. And I get asked this question all the time. And it's a very beginner thing. And a lot of people miss it. So they're building their site and they don't know how to change the header because it's hard to find information on it because it really is a basic thing that you need to do. And I'm going to start with a blank. This is a blank WordPress install. I do have the Kadence theme on here. And I made a home page and I set that to be home. So when you click on home in the menu, this is all default WordPress stuff. This is my home page. It's very sad and very blank. This is the default name for a WordPress site, which is my blog. We're going to change all that. We don't want to leave this like that. Okay, so you can get into the customizer in the back end of the site by going to Appearance and Customize. But we're going to just do it easy right here. It's the customizer is right here up in the black admin bar. So we're going to, if you hover over the header, you can see all these little editing buttons show up, all these little edit icons. I'm going to start off editing the entire row, and that opens up this header builder, they call it. Okay, so you have three rows that you can use in your header. There's a top row, the main row it's called is what has stuff in it right now. You can see here there's logo and there's primary navigation. And then there's a bottom row underneath that you could add other things in there. You don't normally use the bottom row unless you do something like this, where you grab your logo and you move it to the middle and then you can take your primary navigation and move it over. Come on. It can go under your logo if you want that kind of a setup. That's when you would use that, but you don't want to clutter it up with too many things. Okay, your header should be nice and clean and simple, so that when people come to your site, they have a good user experience. You want them to be able to find out where they want to go immediately without having to search through all kinds of buttons and doodads up here. Okay, so I'm going to put that primary nav back over here. And this is really the classic website setup. You know, I like the center logo as well with the centered primer nav, but for right now, we're going to just stick with this. Okay, so these gears all will bring up different editing screens. This one will bring up the main row screen, which is right here. You can make it bigger or smaller. I would leave it alone for the moment. And if you click on, oh, you can click on design and you can put a background color in and let's just, it's kind of gray. Make it like a blue gray if you want to do that. Um, You can add a border on it. It's not really necessary. Sometimes people will put um a bottom border on it, and you would just add your color and you have to tell it how many pixels wide you want it to be. I'll make it a little bigger so you can see it. You can see that added a blue line there. That's fine. It makes it look nice and designed. Do it, intentionally. If that's what you like. So the next thing I'm going to do is put a logo in here. And if you come down to logo and you click the little gear to edit, you're going to see right here, this is where you can put your logo in. Now there's all different things that you can use. Um, Logo layout, you can use just a logo. If I click that, my blog disappeared. My site title is my blog. So if I click on logo and title, it's going to show the title. If I click on logo, title, and tagline, it's going to pick up this tagline as well. All right, so you can choose which one you want. You can also choose what order you want them in. Yeah, It's not really changing much because we don't really have much in there. Okay, so I want to add a logo to this. If I go to my media library, I've already uploaded my logo. Skip cropping. I don't want it to crop. And you can see here's my logo. Now it's kind of big. You don't want your logo to be huge because it takes up too much of this valuable real estate on your page. So we're going to just bring that back so it's still legible, like 90 maybe. You can still read it, but it's not so in your face and crazy. All right. So now we can play around with this stuff here. I can have logo only, logo and logo, title, and tagline. Uh, yeah, see, these change it. That just looks weird. That looks weird. Leave it as this, or just logo and title, or get rid of the title altogether. If you if your logo is self-explanatory, so people know where they are, it has the name of your site in it, you can leave it that way. If you need a title, go ahead and add the title in as well. All right. So, and anytime you do anything, when you're happy with it, click publish. Otherwise, if you leave the screen, you'll lose it. Okay. So the other things that you can do is you can mess with your navigation. If you click the little gear, um, you can play around in here. Go to design. You can change the colors of the navigation if you want them to be different colors. It's up to you. This is a hover color. You can see when you hover over right now, it's blue, and you can see that they turn blue. I don't mind that. And this one is for an active state. So when you have actually clicked onto that page or menu item and you go to that page, it will stay this active color. Okay, it's the active page. And again, it's a signal to your users so they know where they are on your website. If you have a lot of menu items, it might be good for them to know where they are in the menu. You can add a little background to it if you want. You can do that. And it's kind of that. But I would say keep it simple, and don't make it too complicated. Okay, so there's all different things that you can mess with here. I would say at the moment, leave them alone. You want everything to stay clean and simple. Okay, and also you can add things to this. Now, when you hover over these different rows, here's the top row. Right now we're working on the main row, and that's usually all you use. You could put your logo in the center and take this primary navigation and put it under your logo. You just grab it and move it. And you can see that now this is in the main row. This is picking up my background colors, etc. This is not. This is the bottom row. So if you want this menu to be in this background color, you have to do the background color on the bottom row as well. So it gets a little messy. So we're probably better off just to leave it the way it was. Okay, and then like I said, you have this bottom row. And if you click on the gear for the bottom row, you can I'll put a red in there so you can really see it, or an orange. And it's not showing because there's nothing in it. So let's see. You move the navigation down like that. Okay, it now you can see that background color and the navigation. Okay, so usually you won't use that bottom row unless you have the logo and navigation under it. So I'm just going to get rid of that. The top row, a lot of people will use for different things like a search bar or social media icons. So if you just click on the little plus sign, here's your search bar. And if you click on the gear, you come over here and you have to add a search color. It's just not going to show up until you add it. Make it green. And you can see now the little search icon showed up. And you can also add, if you go to general, the search label. So you can just say search. Don't make a crazy label that no one's going to understand. You want them to be able to find things. So, don't make it crazy. Go back to design. You can make it bordered, whatever. There's all kinds of things that you can play around with here. Again, there's a color and a hover color. So if you hover over it, it turns blue. Um, the initial color is green. So you can see that there. You can add a search background like that if you want that. I wouldn't do that because it makes it stand out too much. You don't need that to stand out and be in your face. Okay, and again, you can add a background color to that top row. Sometimes people will put it into a darker color than this row. That's okay, I guess. But I would make it like, here's the minimum height. I would make it not very big. Make it as small as you can. All right, so, and I don't really care for that background color, so I'm going to just put that back to white. Okay, um, so that's about it. There's all different things that you can add. Let me see. Social media buttons, you can add those up here. And then when you click the gear icon, you can change these out. Facebook, Instagram, if you don't have one of these, if you don't have X, so you can just remove it. And then you have to set the social links here. You can't just leave them here. You have to set the social links, put your Facebook URL in here, put your Instagram URL. You can open them in a new tab if you want to, which is probably a good idea, etc. Okay. So that's that top one. Now let's go back. Um, you can also add a button, and you would do that by clicking the plus sign again, add a button. Maybe you have a membership that you want them to go to, something that's off your site. Maybe you have something special going on um, that you want them to go to. So you can add a button in there. Or if you take that out, you can add a secondary navigation, and you would set that up in your navigation settings. Um, you can also add HTML, which is code, and if you click on the little gear icon, you can pretty much just type in here, and it will come out there. You can say check out my um, monthly sale, and then you would have to highlight that and create a link for it to go to a page where your sale was going on. All right, so that's something that you can change out, every month or whatever. And that is about it. Just remember to hit publish. Always hit publish to save all this stuff, and have fun making your header. Just don't go crazy, okay? Keep it simple.